Hi guys, if you're new here, I'm Nina, and today we are going to be doing a whole house reset, declutter, clean with me before the new year. I really want to start 2024 off on a good note and feel like our household is organized and in order. And I don't know if it's just me, but I feel like after Christmas, there's always just this urge to kind of get the home back in order and back into place, especially if you have little ones like me and you have new toys and gifts and things that just need to be organized and put away, and you need to create space for those items. I feel like decluttering and getting rid of some things that the kids no longer play with or use, or just areas of the house that have just been collecting things that we no longer need or use, now is the perfect time to do those kind of things. We're in that weird limbo now that's kind of like between Christmas and New Year's, where you're like, what day is it? What am I supposed to be doing today? And I just feel like it's the perfect time to get organized and get things together for the start of the new year. So let's start fresh together and kind of go through the things in our home and see if we still need them, and just make sure that the things in our household are serving a purpose for you and your family. I feel like for me, it's not so much to have like this picture perfect aesthetic home. It's more about having a space that is functional for me and my family and their needs. Personally, I feel like when we have too much stuff in the home, it just creates like a mental clutter for me, where I feel kind of flustered when I'm trying to put things away. It adds more stress to my day-to-day. And so to relieve some of that stress, it helps for me to have less stuff. That's definitely something that I've learned this past year in 2023. My word was simplify. And I feel like I have just slowly been simplifying a lot of things throughout our house and throughout our life and lifestyle. And I have definitely seen the fruit of that. And I want to continue that into the new year. I will say usually after Christmas, I'm in kind of a rush to put away the Christmas decorations, just because I want to start fresh and want everything to be off to a clean new slate. But this year I've been a little bit slower. I haven't really been in a rush to put away the decorations, just because I've been enjoying our lights in the evenings and just like that cozy, warm, Christmassy feeling around the house still. So today I'm gonna be decluttering and organizing and cleaning, but I might leave the Christmas decorations up just for a few more days and then to kind of take those down and put them away with the start of the new year. Which I think is important, not to rush when it comes to those things, or things in general. Like, just do things on your own timing, what feels best for you and your family, not based off of like what you're seeing on social media or what anyone else says, but just doing what's good for you and your household. So let's go ahead and get started so we can start fresh together in 2024. We have this little desk for them here in the living room, and it had stuff in both of those little compartments, and my toddler decided to take it out and put it all around the house. And it's crazy how like you don't realize even two little drawers can just have so much stuff. This is literally all the stuff that was in those drawers, just like a bunch of paper and things. And he dumped one of our toy bins, so I feel like that was a sign that it is time to just go through, organize, and figure out if there is stuff that we need versus we don't need. I'm gonna try and pull out a few things from their closets as well, look through their clothes and see if there is anything that needs to be donated or given away, and then also see if there's any toys that the kids are no longer using that we can clean out to create space for the things that are coming in. I don't think that they're gonna be getting tons of things for Christmas. We got them just like a few key items. We didn't go crazy. We got them about maybe like 4 gifts each. But I know that even with like the grandparents and stuff, it's just good to create space and feel like things are cleaned out before the holidays. So let's start decluttering. So when I'm pulling stuff out of their closets or trying to declutter, I try to do it in categories or groups. So I made a pile of the stuffed animals that were out, and then I basically have like books and coloring books over here, and then some random small little toy items, which these are the ones that I have the hardest time keeping. I will keep a few little things that I know that they actually play with, but I am just not a fan of little small toys around the house because it's really hard to keep them in a home or keep them in a spot. They end up everywhere under the couch and all of the cracks, and I also just don't like anything that could possibly be a choking hazard in the house. So this toy item is something that the grandparents got for Lily for her birthday. It's Melissa and Doug. I love Melissa and Doug toys. I feel like they are really good quality and they really foster like independent and imaginative play. So I definitely love their stuff. I'm keeping this one. They use this like every single day. I'm just gonna store it up in their closet for now, and I'll probably add it to a toy rotation. It is a newer gift, so we've just had it out since they got it for her birthday, but I do wanna start rotating it. That way it's fresh and new every time that they have it as part of their toy rotation. I'm going through and I'm getting rid of any of their coloring books that pretty much have no pages left. Like this one, they already used all those stickers and then they colored the pages that they could, so it's gonna go in the trash pile if they've already used it up because it's just taking up space. And then I do like to keep a few coloring sheets available at all times. My toddler will go to his little desk and just grab a coloring sheet and randomly start coloring. So I do want to keep some fresh ones, but then the ones again that have already been colored, I will either put in a folder if it's something that I want to keep, but 99% of the time we have so many things that are colored that it will go in a trash pile. I did recently print out some stuff just for them to work on as like preschool activities. So again, I like to have these. So try to keep some stored away in a little bin that I can take out and have as like an activity to do with them. So these are ones that have not been used yet, and then this is my pile of things that are already used. I do have a really hard time when it comes to getting rid of books. I feel like we have a lot of books and we use a lot of them all the time, and sometimes like my toddler will be into a specific book and then he'll go weeks without reading it and then come back to it. But I think I just have a hard time because I feel like there's an attachment and a memory that goes with each book that we've read together. So I do have a really hard time getting rid of them. But I also think like since we do get new books usually for Christmas or with like different birthdays and things, it's not realistic to keep every single book that we ever get. So I am gonna try and go through and get rid of at least like 4 or 5 books to clear out some space for some new books that might be coming in. Tablet has been one of my favorite toys for them, especially on the go, because it is educational. Like it has all of the letters on here, and then it'll say the letter and an animal that starts with the letter name. And both of my kids have used this and still love it. My 1-year-old and my 2-year-old both play with this. It's great if like you're going to a restaurant or you're in the car and you want to have something that will really entertain them. So I'm definitely keeping this one. And I know different people have different opinions about these, but I actually really like the books that make noise or read to them because it's something that they can kind of play with on their own without having an adult read it to them. So I also feel like it's educational because it teaches them like different names of colors and animals and things like that. So now in my toddler's room, and I feel like our toy rotation has been working pretty well with him because I don't feel like there's a whole lot to go through or get rid of or, you know, toy wise to look at in here. The only thing I was thinking about is this basketball hoop. I feel like it's living in his room, but we never really use it. I'm just gonna give it a little bit more time though, because he is still kind of young, and I feel like maybe as he gets a little bit older, he'll want to play with it more. So I'm gonna give it a little bit more time before we donate that item. The big one that I think we are going to donate is this adorable little jungle set, which was given to us by a friend, and both of our kids have loved this and played with it, but I've noticed that recently it has not gotten much love. I think that we are ready to make some space with this one since it is a little bit of a more bulky item. I'm just gonna take a few minutes to go through his closet now to check sizes to see if there's anything that's under probably 2T or like some of the smaller 2T items that I can go ahead and donate. This one has gotten its use. I think sometimes when shirts have too many stains, I kind of stop reaching for them or putting them in them. I do have a few that I'll keep for like painting, which I have up in this little corner, which needs to be organized, but I'll keep a few. But then after that, there is a point where they just need to be donated. I was able to come up with a donate pile when it comes to kids' clothes and just some socks and shoes and things, which I feel like this bag, it's not too big, which makes me happy because that means that I feel like we've been kind of keeping up with donating as we go. It's not an excessive amount this time, so that's always the positive, is seeing that you've been like keeping up with it. It makes it a little bit more manageable and easier to go through quickly when you have just like a few minutes or some time like I have today. I feel like every time I declutter the house, I always come back to this one spot because for whatever reason, this is the spot in our house that just accumulates stuff. No matter how often I clean it, it always needs to be decluttered and organized. So I'm gonna go ahead and go through it. I don't know if you guys have a spot like that in your house, and to be honest, we have a few of those. Like in our bedroom, I have a chair that things always end up on, sometimes my vanity, and then here. But I feel like everyone has that spot in their house that you just always put things in when you're not sure where things go, which is a big goal of mine, is to make sure that the things that I have an actual place that they belong. And if they don't, then maybe it is time to get rid of some of these items. These are also the places of my house that I find the hardest to clean, in the sense that it's hard to find the motivation to start cleaning them. But after I do clean up a space like this, I feel so accomplished, and it feels so good just to have an organized, clean space. I tend to find random things like this in my kitchen, and I'm just like, this has got to go. One of the main things I love about decluttering is that it makes the space much easier to clean and take care of, especially with the countertops. Having less makes it so much easier to wipe everything down. Do you guys want to see the cabinet that I have been avoiding for months? It's so bad, it's embarrassing. This is our medicine cabinet. It needs some serious TLC. So what I like to do when a space has gotten out of control like that is just take everything out so I can kind of go through it, see if anything is expired or if we have doubles or things that we don't need. And I have my trash bag here to go through it. I did have to go through and check the expiration dates on everything that was in our medicine cabinet, and sadly most of these things were expired, so it was time for me to get rid of them and then write down anything that I needed to have restocked, like Benadryl or Tylenol for the kiddos. So that is all the time that I have today to spend on decluttering, although I would love to spend hours and hours decluttering every section of my house. I'm just tackling what I'm able to tackle today, and I'm taking that as an accomplishment. So this is your sign. If you want to declutter an area of your house or maybe your whole house, you can take the time that you have today and go ahead and tackle that project. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to give it a like, and I will see you guys in my next video.